a 4 versus 4 ladder game, and it is going down on a map that is known as Hrungdax Canyon. And we have Team 1 across here at the top. We have Team 2 down here across the bottom. The blues versus the reds, if you like. Just let us do our wee shuffling of the stats. There we go. And let's have an introduction of the players. So a quick look at the map. We see that there's very raised areas. So there's technically only 3 paths around the left, around the right, or up through the middle. Plenty of massive tractors to be had. These ones are a bit more difficult to maybe hold. They could get arched over the edge just for fun. Reclaim is 40,000 mass to be had. A lot of it clumped in these spots here with small rocks, but many of them. Okay, players. On the right side for team number 1 in the bright blue color, it is Dyson V12 Vacuum. That's a powerful vacuum cleaner. Got his factory down and throwing down a PGM because his hydro is over there. It's a bit far away. Beside him though, we have Pornhub. Pornhub is UEF, and sorry, Dyson is Seraphim, I forgot to mention. Pornhub is Lavender with UEF, and he's moving his commander up here to do an edge build of a factory. This is a workable idea, try and get a quick ground onto the plateau, as is Dyson. Third player for team number 1 is Diggy Hayape. Diggy Hayape? It's going to be Diggy. Diggy Cyan, Diggy is Aeon. He's got his factory up, throwing down some PGNs. And finally, for team number 1 at the back, also Aeon, it is Psycho. And Psycho is in the light blue color. Alright, let's have a gander for team number 2 and see, have a look. This is waiting to build this. In fact, there it goes. It's going to give an advantage on the plateau if he gets that off. Team number 2 on the left hand side in Siren, it is Nabavasa. Nabavasa is starting to work on his hydro. He's in the burgundy color. Beside him, it is another Seraphim for first Seraphim for team 1, and it is Thesaurus Rex. Gotta like that name, Thesaurus Rex. Anyway, he's getting edge build on that plateau, getting some presence on there. Beside him up the front, it is 8088. Sounding like, what's that? That's Star Wars thing, isn't it? It's a big 4-footer, 8088. Anyway, he is Seraphim, he's in yellow color with his factory down, and looks like an air factory build. And beside him, also walking up towards the front, is Lord Castile. So Lord Castile has thrown down some factory, is slapping engineers out of it, and he's actually moving his commander up towards the front to assist. Alright, first little bit of scouting going on. We have some labs over on the right hand side. This is from Dyson. They are looking to make their mark. Celine's actually on their way, going for a bit of a scoot, and they are the first combat units that may encounter something. And encounter something they may very well. There are a couple of engineers working their way in this direction, and they get there, they're going to cause some problems. You can see they're split off into different regions, trying to kill things off. Just wanting to really slow things down. Alright, first factory is up from Pornhub, and he's got a couple of labs going up. Look like they are going to try and get over the side to deny this type of thing happening. Maybe some engineers up there. But over this way, we can see the Celine has caught up to the engineer that's hidden in this little sector. We'll be able to kill them off, although there's a defending Celine coming out from Thesaurus Rex. Is probably going the wrong way. Got one more lab down there, and another one. Where's that one going? He thinks he can walk over that. That's an interesting question. Can he walk over that? Or is he going to go around? The answer is he's going to go around. Of course, he might be able to go over that ridge, but he can't, so he's not. Alright. More Celines going out the other way, and that is one in stealth, being sneaky, hidey. Won't be seen till it's too late. And the labs have made it down here uninterrupted. They've killed off one engineer. There is another engineer under threat, although a defending Sam is rolled off the conveyor belt. This can be able to kill these off, no problems. Especially at point blank range. Murdered little men. Okay, we have another sling turned up this side. It has been pinged by 2 though. It's going to be 2 versus 1, where there are 2 of them there. I believe that this is got cloaking, but it has radar stealth as well. So I guess radar stealth means it does not show up. This Celine is going to get double teamed and turned into mulch. This guy is going to sit on this mass extractor all day until something force fires on the ground, like a T1 Arty could perhaps ground fire. But right now it will not be seen because it is still. It has been told not to shoot. And yeah, these guys are just going to stand here until it reveals itself, I think. I think there's a strong suspicion it's there, but nothing can be done. So Two Selenians are going to stand guard whilst another engineer turns up. Double upgrade along the way here. Psycho already has the range upgrade on his commander, getting some assistance from Pornhub to get the second upgrade. And there's going to be a gun comm in the mid, which will be a problem for these, or maybe not. There's three guys here, though none of them upgraded. They will be able to hold off against a single gun comm, 3 versus 1. They can still do the damage and still get work done. And although they don't really want to, it's actually kind of even. 3 comms versus 2 comms when one has upgraded gun is, I'd say it's a fairly even fight, but what do I know? I don't know. Alright, exactly what happened down here. That Selene decided to reveal itself, and it probably got modified by these 2 Selenes because it started shooting at the engineer first, I'd imagine, and he would be doing a bad time. Tech is called for in mid. Lord Castile thinks now's the time to try and get something down here to maybe stop this kind of thing happening. Hello, old Teasen. Nice to see the drop in. Having a good day, I hope. But this is a gun comm, standing there very defiantly, doing nothing. Staring those 3 down, just waiting to go in. A small little push here from 8088 with a few units. They're going to run into a much larger force and need to fall back. Still no upgrades going down on these guys. The question is, do they have overcharge? There we go, T2 upgrade happening for 8088, and that is now going to be pressurized by Psycho, and here comes Pornhub as well. Units are out, and that may have to be a cancelled upgrade. It's going to be problems if it's left to go. There we go, he's had to cancel it so he can move out of the way, otherwise he could be blapped from range for no problems. Psycho with the extra range upgrade on his commander means that he cannot stand still lest he get destroyed. Right, T1 bomber coming out to cause some issues, knocks off a couple of engineers. First T1 bomber of the day, kills the engineers but runs into interceptors. No further dice on that front. Over on the left hand side, it is Nabavasa is possibly biting off a bit more than he could chew over here. There's a commander, there's a large number of units, and yeah, indeed he has fallen back from that. I think he should keep falling back further. Down here they're trying to rush a gun upgrade onto 8088. If they can get that completed, that will help counter the gun upgrade of Psycho. And we see Pornhub is also trying to get an upgrade on there. We'll see how that goes. At the moment they're just trying to use some T1 units to keep the commanders at bay. If they can finish that off, that would be incredibly helpful, which they will indeed. That is going to be completed. No way they can stop that now. Yeah, and they can instantly move to maybe somebody else grabbing one. Range upgrade for Lord Castile. Range will be very helpful, means he can actually shoot back at Psycho and be able to keep in the drift. Down this direction we can see there's still a single Selene. Is that friendly Selene? Definitely not friendly. Maybe it's just not in range of this engineer. I'm curious. It's out of range. The engineer is just out of range. He's going to finish off building the mass extractor, and he's going to head this way and die pretty much straight away. As soon as he moves within range, bang bang bang. Oh, he is cloaked. He's cloaked now, so he moved in with turned off 2 cloak at that point. Okay, our right hand side, and this was Dyson pushing back a raiding force out from 8088. Just wanted to verify that. Gun upgrade is done for Lord Castile. Gun upgrade is done for 8088, and they're doing another gun upgrade for Thesaurus Rex. So that is going to be 3 gun comms in the mid versus 2, although Pornhub is going for nano repair. That could be something very key to helping us keep that under control. Radar down over this way from Dyson, and it could be pipped by T1 RD. If you can move it up, get close enough, we could lob shells over and actually say goodbye to the radar. Radar is very important, of course, for our gun commanders. They cannot see as far as they can shoot. They definitely need the radar. T2 radar on the left for Diggy, and that is going to get plenty of vision from that. Alright, and now along they come. Okay, 3 gun comms versus 2 and nano, and that nano may not be able to complete at this rate. It's only half done, and 3 commanders charging in on you is usually a sign to consider leaving. Yep, there we go. Nano repair cancel for Pornhub, and there is now, oh dear, look at Psycho. Psycho's getting absolutely mobbed. So many shots coming on in, and he's going to be the first ejection of the game. He's not getting out of this. There's 9th minute. Psycho caught out by 3 gun comms in the midsection, and they continue to push on Pornhub. Pornhub is now going to be the victim of just absolute gankage by these three guys. He downs the red and Pornhub drops out mere seconds later than Psycho. And suddenly it is a 2 versus 4 that quickly. In the space of, what was that, 20 seconds? 20 seconds for that to occur, but it is a ladder game, so it is full share, and suddenly everybody else has extra eco. Maybe Diggy wants to give some of this over to Dyson just to help him out on this side, though Dyson is pushing up with his commander, no gun upgrade. It's just a raw in-your-face commander doing things, and he's just killing up units slowly one by one. Really wants to consider getting an upgrade, especially in the face of a point defense. Probably wants to overcharge that, I would say. Overcharge onto that would be very, very handy instead of shooting. Oh, T1 arty would do the trick as well, actually. But move out of range. Don't just tank that to the face. T1 bombers overhead now. And Dyson. Maybe he wants to think about not standing up there with his commander when he has no gun upgrade and no support. Well, the point defense is down though. So that's some small miracle over the front. Dyson needs to think about walking backwards now in a very rapid fashion. He's got no support, he's half dead, he's got a bomber overhead, he's got a swarm of units ready to push up on him. The mid is well under control by 3 units, or the 80-88 is quite damaged. In fact, they kind of all are, and it's probably because of the fact they stood in the range of 2 gun explosions, 2 comm explosions, which reduces their health overall by 50%. Sorry, 5,000. T1 bomber comes loitering over here, takes out a bunch of units. Your Deagle Hopper is there for you. Diggy. I keep on calling him Diggy, so I guess he's Diggy now. He is not willing to quite push on this, although we see Nabavasa is actually assisting the factory up towards T2. He's not getting any upgrades on his commander. He's going for some tech on the front line. Could be handy, you never know. Okay, this though, massive push of units up on the plateau. This is going to oust all the production in the region, and that will leave them free to roam the edges and plonk anything that's in range. T1 artillery, and even when, if it turns up, some mobile missile launchers. But we'll see how that fares. Over on the left hand side, and it is Diggy doing what a gun comm does by reaching out and killing units at range. And gun comms are very good for that. Right, air fight in the middle, and that is going to be much better for team number 2 because they are microing a wee bit better. Looks like Diggy just sent the interceptors in, and they have been mauled by a significantly larger force, and really there's nothing left. TBR. Unfortunate death spots, those. Alright, they're so under control. Our right hand side looks to be under control of team number 2 as well. Although halfway up there's a whole bunch of units. We still have a commander here who could very much consider, and hello! What was that? Completely missed that, but there was... Were there units? Sorry, I completely missed that. Killed you. I thought he was okay. Diggy was all the way back here. Was that units? Was there actually a bunch of units pushed on in and took the commander out? Something doesn't seem right. Missed that one. I don't see attack battery, so I don't think it was a attack sniper of any kind, but either way, that is a kill. That was a dead man, and this is now opened up on the left hand side for team 1 to push on down. There's a few units out there, but there's plenty of units on the ground already. So things coming off the conveyor belt are going to struggle to slow that down, and there we go. The T2 factory is getting munted by T1 arty, and there's another T2 factory here. The same thing is going on that front. That's going to die a pretty quick and horrible death. Labs have been queued to split out of these just to try and get some kind of motion going on. Labs aren't a bad choice when you're facing T1 artillery, because they're fast, they're mobile, they can be all dodgy and stuff like that, but really, I want to tell you I need to shoot that. Stop redundant, but the Saurus Rex! What am I missing? Are they dying? Mercies. Oh my word. It has been mercy snipes. That's what's been going on. Oh my god, I'm so sorry if I'm missing those, but 2 mercy snipes from Diggy has evened up this game incredibly. Commander's up with front with that anti-air. The mercies have gotten through and killed them. One here and one here. That has been Oh my word, I'm sorry I missed those. But now we know what happened. It's been a mercy killing. It has been an absolute mercy killing, and he's going for it again. More mercies rolling off the factory, although I wonder if they've learnt their lesson and will be alright this time. All it takes is a few bits of T1 AA, and mercies are effectively nullified. Alright, push on the right hand side coming in from AC-88, but it's running into stiff opposition from a bunch of units and some T2PD. There's also a tack launcher right here, though it hasn't got any kills yet. Don't know if it's launching the missiles. Dyson is in the region with his commander. He's going to help thin out those numbers. T2PD is dead, all but. Any more shells running over? Survives by the skin of his teeth. It's going to be incredibly useful slowing that down. Left hand side, this has been a lab rush. All the labs are pushing their way on up, and there's not a lot to stop them. Got some units back over this way, but they're going to struggle. Those labs are small, those labs are fast, they're going to be a problematic thing. But hello, that is T3 air. Oh yeah. Castile has not been idle. He has a T3 air factory, he's got T3 power, and that is a strat bomber. That is going to be a problem, because what's there to stop it? And the answer is not a heck of a lot. We do have a T3 HQ down here, going to want to spit out an engineer or an anti-air. That looks like it could be an anti-air unit. I think it is, judging from the shape down that way. And we have Diggy is sitting under a bunch of shields. He wants to be safe and careful where he is, and the mercies are still sitting here ready to be used. The question is where they're going to be used. There's a single Swiftwind out, which is, or a couple of Swiftwinds out, which are looking to try and clean up the interceptors. Not a bad idea when you have a strat ready to go. There's some anti-air over this way. Got a few T1 AA. They're going to take a while to kill things. Some more T1 AA over here. Perhaps the T3 HQ has been spotted, but the strat is on the way with some ASFs in support. I think your mercy days are pretty much over, and you're going to want to think about getting back into those shields. There is a Redeemer. The Redeemer needs to be get within range of the strat. It's not going to, and the strat is going to start bombing things, but the first thing it goes for is a T3 mass extractor, which does not die in one pass. It needs two, even actually three. It's going to need 3 passes to kill that. In the meantime, it's going to wander into range of the Redeemer. It's going to do a large amount of damage. Large amount of damage. Look at that. Another missile comes out, boom, down to 1,000 health. Just needs one more lob off. Missile comes to dropping those, slaps onto the T2 HQ. If that died, it would be problem central for a team at number 1. They're going to need that to get to the T3. It's very, very nearly there. In fact, it's going to complete. It's going to give us some extra health. There we go, extra health on that, and straight into some ASFs. There's the anti-air though, that picks the bomber out of the skies. ASFs come in a wee bit late. Not that they could have done much, because it's not air that is taking the bomber down. This is the Redeemers, and now the ASFs are going to get picked off by those as well. So T3 air now available for both sides. Is there another strat coming out? Yes, there is. Another strat coming from Lord Castile here. Wants to try and push that advantage. But no. The advantage is not going to last much longer. Having said that, Diggle really needs to get some energy. He's got to be stalling on power. He's stalling alright. He's got a lot of storage though. Look at that, 89,000 from 17 storage. Yeah, he needs to put up a T3 BGN. He'll get the ASFs out, but he needs the engineers and he needs the power. He cannot keep that up. Another strat coming over this way, and this time it has gone for, there we go, it's got one mass extractor over there. Not terribly good use of its ability. Taking a bunch of damage, and now some ASFs coming. It's on the verge of death, but then again so is that T3 mass extractor. The bomb's away. The mass extractor is going to die, but it does go down. Still, that's T3 max. Something you don't really want to lose. Not really. Okay. We have a push up the middle. These are Harbingers. They're standing back, holding their ground in the face of point events. Not the best idea. And a Guncom. 8088 Guncom T2 on there, and these guys are just going to get munched. Staying out of range. Or staying out of range for them, for T2PD, and they get turned into lobs. Over on the right hand side, this looks like a push coming from AC88. We have a bunch of Ultravers And this makes us a dangerous force. We have a few point defense here. I take that back. We have one heavily damaged point defense. 36 health. 17 kills, and we have a bunch of T1 units sitting at the front of that. Now there's a repair order. Gets a rank of veterancy, which is going to help for all of like a few seconds. Once this Ultras get in range, it's going to have a terrible, terrible time. By Dyson, without an upgrade on this commander, is walking on out. He's going to help. I presume he's got overcharge, and that's where the assistance is going to come from. Yes, indeed. There we go. He's moving up, and he's just going to try and face tank some of this damage to keep the point defense alive, although it's not lasting too much longer. There we go. Point defense is down, and now Dyson could be in a bit of trouble. He has got nothing in the way of firepower, just a commander, and if these units realize that and switch up to the comm directly, he's going to have a bad time. He could loiter under the shields if he can overcharge some of these assault bots down, but there's a lot of T2. He's down into the yellow, and there's not going to be long before they realize this is your target. In fact, there we go, the power is down. They're focusing on the eco. I want to get rid of the factories and build power first. Not a terrible idea because it is full share, but it is Dyson trying to flee the scene. He's got some T1 bombers in support, but they're not going to last too much longer. There is anti-air around the place, and Dyson has a couple of ranks in veterancy, so it might be okay. And supporting units. Diggy coming over with the Harbingers, and Harbingers just say no to T2. They do not like it. And they do a good steady damage. The Ushibas are very tough on their own, and you want to keep shields up on a Harvey because the shield is a lot of your health. That is a restorer. And that restorer is going to be able to kill off these units quite handily. It takes a bit of time. It's one of these it's weaker when it comes to killing ground units. It's mainly anti-air. Can you believe that? At a gunship, that's primarily anti-air. And even while it's doing that, some ASFs now come out from Lord Castile, and that's going to be the end of that restorer. They're tough, but they're not 6 ASF tough. Unfortunately. Right, these units up this way have survived, sort of. They're running to a T1 PD, which is trying to do a job. T1 bombers are in the region trying to blow things up, and a Harbinger is chasing them up on their back ends. Dyson still hunting around. We have Diggy standing there with his commander. He's trying to assist. He has got a gun, double gun, of course, makes him quite hardy. And the interceptors have been enough, plus the ASFs, to clear out the air threat. Right, Diggy providing support to Dyson, who desperately needs it. We have a couple of Harbingers around. One came up and cleaned up these guys. Commander's there to kill things off as well. Rapid fire plus overcharge. And that is going to be enough to take the rest of these out. It's going down. I think that's an attack order. Yes, it is. Here's the attack. We have T1 bombers and T2 coming in from 80-88. They want to go for Diggy. Diggy, well, I think he probably needs to get a dodge on, although interceptors are up in the air. That was a very decent dodge. Nothers, if they hit, do a huge amount of damage, but unfortunately these ones were dodged. All the bombs hit in completely the wrong area. Diggy with a very sharp U-turn. Bonk. If they had scored all their hits, that would have been a very dead Diggy. So it's been quite a bit of a... After going 2 down so quickly, 9 minutes in. But at the 9-minute mark, I should say, it was very quick. 2 people going out. These guys have held on, and they've fought back, and 2 kills from Diggy with mercies has really evened up the odds and made it quite... given them just that bit of time they needed. Units on the right are falling on back. They've left a giant dumping pile of mass. You've got Harbingers. Start scooping. Get some of that mass. And right, what else have we got going on? So there's definitely T3 for Diggy. Dyson is virtually out of the game. He's got a commander and a factory, which is upgrading to T2. He's got a bunch of power over here, so he's not so bad off there, but he definitely needs mass. Trying to build mass extractors. He doesn't want to stop the T2 upgrade because it's quite far through. Don't blame him. But if we could just start reclaiming some mass, that would be good. Redeemers are out to support the Harbingers over the side. Could be needed. Next to T3 air over here. Okay, what else is going on? Well, Lord Castile is focusing on some ego. Still got a T1 land factory. Mass extractors are going on up. And hello, monkey. Here we go, there's a monkey that's around about 40% done. 42% done. And that is going to be something to be very, very cautious of for team number 1. don't want to run into a monkey unexpectedly. And is that going to be the big thing? Over on the side there is a bunch of T1 and a bunch of T1 PD. Of course, it's quite useless against anything with extra range. Technically, I think even Auroras managed to outrange T1 PD, and the T1 artillery definitely does. Right hand side, and this is a push coming up from 88. They is trying to rush with what he's got, running into a wall of Harbingers though. Redeemers are behind them, are falling back as they would need to do. Probably doesn't want to keep pushing off boards. If you can kite with these, that would be best, although that's a lot of Ushvas, and Ushvas have a decent amount of range as well. These guys need to try and get some dodging on, but they really can't. It's just overwhelming numbers at this stage. Redeemers got to fall back. They only have anti-air, and they are going to be killed off for free. We have a tack battery in the middle. Here are attack launchers, just the two of them. Maybe they can catch an unupgraded commander. I think they do approximately 6,000 damage per missile. They do. So 2 tack launchers will do 12,000 damage. That will not kill Dyson, nor will it kill Diggy. Just a lot of damage though, and really scare them off. T3 units on the left hand side. This is Loyalist Rage, and yeah, Loyalists are absolutely going to clean up all of this, and that monkey is done. The monkey is ready, and the monkey is on the way. Mid area, it's just a bastion of PD. Got a bunch of T2 PD, got a couple of tech launchers, got some lack, got a bunch of T1, a couple of shields for AT-88 to hide under. Is about to finish a T2 radar system. Probably going to consider upgrading that to T3 as soon as possible. Counter push down the right hand side from Diggy is maybe not the best idea. He has run into a bunch of Ultras, a bunch of T1, and the Harbingers are swiftly running out of numbers whilst the Redeemers are just being damage tanks. Not a great push. That is actually going to be a loss for him, especially as there's more reinforcements of a whole platoon of Ushvas joining in the party. Where has the monkey gone? I have lost eyes on a monkey. There is the monkey. Okay, what do they have to stop it? The answer is not much. Massive swarm of T1 over this side, but that is going to have their absolute hands full trying to deal with these Loyalists, which are going to carve them up horribly. Having said that, sending the Loyalists one by one into all of this is actually a very terrible idea. They might be paper, and they might die really quickly, but that much firepower against one by one Loyalists, not a great plan. Sending them in a bunch, a better plan. Now they can destroy these units en masse all at once while they focus them down one by one. Though having said that, a ton of T1, and the Loyalists are actually going to get pumped in this. So many Auroras, T1 and RT as well, dropping the shells on down, plenty of damage, and that is going to be... I'm going to say, I thought the Loyalists might do better out of this, but they seem to just get absolutely hammered. Alright, here comes the tech missiles, and what are they going for? They're going to go for a tech. Is that a T2... exposed T2 mass extractor, I think? Can it clear the ridge is the question, and the answer is yes. Umski. Down goes the mech, down goes the engineer. They could have built a defending TMD, but it is all gone. There really is, food man. There really is. And I can say I'm 100% not surprised. Oh, that's those tech launchers are getting work done though. Look at all they did. Mass extractors here, there, everywhere. 2 more going down over there. That is brutality. And coming up the middle now is the monkey. What do they have to stop that? The answer is... I don't think they have anything. I saw some restorers floating around, but how many there were, I don't know. 2 of them. 2 restorers over here. That's going to take a very long time to chip through the monkey health, and I don't think they've got quite enough. Here's the ping. They've finally seen the monkey. And it is a problem, to be sure. Destroyers have been lifted off the ground, but there are ASFs around and they're going to just get wiped out of the sky so easy as you like. Castile with air support. Now there's nothing to slow that monkey down. Strap bomber up the lines. Interceptors trying to tangle with ASFs does not work. Strap bomber is not trying anything. There we go, it's now going to start flying away. Maybe it's going to try and swing around, but really, this is just doomsday. There goes the T3 HQ. Nothing left for Diggy. No tech whatsoever. The powered PGN's going to go down next. There we go. Boom, boom, destroyed. Strap bomber does get a bomb off, but then gets wiped out by other ASS. And now it is just Diggy. Just Diggy with his comm facing off against the monkey. And, well, we know how that's going to go. Is that another monkey? Yes, it is. That's another monkey finish down here. Completely superfluous, I assure you. Not required. This monkey is enough. Stomping over all the structures, zapping the things it can't stomp on, or doesn't stomp on. And there's virtually nothing left. That is pretty much the death knell for team number 1. Monkey zeroing in on Diggy. I think they know where he is. Yeah, they do. But no escape. Surrounded by the walls. Cliffs. Does have shield. Only hopes that the monkey doesn't shoot back at him, but the monkey does. Does he even have overcharge? Does have overcharge, but it doesn't matter. Diggy, after a nice fight and killing 2 of the opposing players, drops out of the game and the vacuum blows suit.